Hi my friends, in this quick video we are going to set up a product in Go High Level, okay? And we're going to walk through all the stuff that's been confusing about this, how to overcome the little obstacles that they have in the system, and get everything set up. Plus we're going to talk about how to add a course area product, plus we're going to talk about how to use your products from your phone, okay? So that you can sell stuff even in person using Go High Level. So without further ado, let's jump over to my screen. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about is just setting up a product so that when you have a funnel page or a website or whatever, and you've set up a checkout, you can overcome this whole thing where you've set it up, but then it says no products available, okay? So we're going to talk through that first, all right? And so let's jump over into our dashboard area. I'm going to jump into the site and I'm going to go to the checkout page. Now I want to talk about the fact that with products, you have to associate your product with the specific page where your checkout form is, okay? So the product doesn't really associate with the funnel. It just goes with the one checkout page where people are going to pay. All right, keep that in mind. And then when you're ready to set up your product and add it to your funnel page, to your checkout page, then all you do is just go over here to products, okay? And then click add product. And now if you haven't set up a product before, the thing that's gonna happen here, and this is where it gets a little confusing sometimes, is you're gonna hit this drop down and it's gonna be empty. So then it's gonna be like, okay, what do I do? They have added a little link here that you can barely see, but it's right underneath this drop down that says create a new product by clicking here. Okay, so I'm going to click that. And what that does, it just takes us over to the payments tab. And then when you're in payments, then that's where you can basically go here to the products. And this is where you manage all the products in Go High Level that you've got. So let's take a quick second to talk about the concept of a product in High Level. So you may be thinking, oh, do I need to have some physical thing to set up a product? Like, how does this work? And the answer is no. A product is really just a concept. So like when we hit create product here, we can basically just sell air if we want to, right? So you could be selling a service that's, I'm going to talk to you for half an hour, right? So there may be no physical thing that's actually delivered. There may not be a digital product associated with it. You could just be talking to somebody and you just want to have a price for it and a name for it so that when you charge people, like you have a way to charge them a price, and when they get their credit card statement, it says, I paid Jim for consulting or whatever. Okay, so that's the product concept. So you don't have to actually have your product ready to go to set this stuff up. So let's just type in example here for a title. It's got to have a title, give it a description, right? And then you can format that stuff. It doesn't show up in a lot of places, so it's not super important, but it is important if you're setting up a storefront type. If you were thinking of doing something like an e-com store where you're selling the product that's like a water bottle or something like that, and you want to describe that it's green and holds water and all that stuff, that's where this product description comes in. For digital products, not so important. Okay. I do like to add an image to it because that does show up in some places. Okay. And then, all right, let's look at a couple of these things. Now, does it belong to a collection? Okay, I'm not going to get into that in this video because that's just a more advanced concept, but you can probably wrap your head around the idea that you could be selling a collection of products together, right? And maybe you give like a bulk discount or something like that. Tax codes, again, if you're doing something like a physical product or a physical in-person type of service, then you may have to charge taxes where you're at. Keep that in mind. Most digital products though, like the stuff that I sell, I basically just take the assumption that the taxes are baked into the price, so I don't charge like a separate tax. So we just keep that as the global settings for your tax stuff, so you don't have to do a specific thing there. Okay, and then we just come down to the price. All right, so you can set up a recurring payments type of product, or a one-time fee. Now, I have integrated with Stripe and with PayPal. If I only was integrated with PayPal, for example, I may not be able to charge a recurring fee, right? So this setup does depend a little bit on your payment processor integrations. So just keep that in mind. Make sure that your payment processor setup through Go High Level does support recurring payments if you're trying to set that kind of thing up. Okay, so we can do a one-time $47 product, and I'm just going to leave the compare app price blank because we can play with that stuff later. Okay, we don't have any variants on this, but you can imagine if you were selling some sort of e-commerce water bottles and you wanted to have a green one and an orange one, then that's where these variants come in. Okay, and then of course, if you're going to have a storefront product page, then you might want to do the SEO titles and stuff like that, but you don't have to. All right, so once you've got the bare basics there, you can just hit save. Okay, and then you're done. All right, so I'm going to hit save up here at the top as well, and then we'll go back. So now I can see my example product in the list here, and now if I go back to sites, okay, and then I go back to my funnel checkout page, okay, now you can see how this might work where, okay, here is my core checkout page, right? And I've got two products here. One is a regular product, one is an order bump, okay? That's how it works with how you associate the product with the checkout form on each page and each thing here. So now we can just add our example product. The price is going to be here, even though it looks like you would enter a price there. We're not going to. We just choose it from the drop down. Okay, the product name. Now see, here is where we can do price override. So maybe it's $50 off right now. Okay. And if we wanted this to have quantities, like if you actually only had 12 of these water bottles to sell, then you can manage the quantities here. And this is where you could also say bump product. Okay, so if you're not clear what the bump product is, let me just show you here real quick. Bump order is just, you're on your core sales page, okay, and you have a little bump order where they can tick the box. So see how the price of the product is $27. That's the main thing I'm selling on this page. If they tick the box for this bump order, which in this case adds agency rights to sell this plugin, then that adds the second product in here, which is $47, for a grand total of $74. So that's all on this one checkout page, okay? That's how the bump order looks. All right, so in our case though, this is not a bump order, okay? We'll say main product, and then we'll hit save, okay? And so now we've got it associated. So when I go here and I'm on the products tab, I see my product there, all right? And if I go back over here and we go back to my example checkout page, now when this page loads, we're gonna see a product, okay? Yeah, there we go. So there's our example, okay, $47. We can do PayPal or card, right? And go from there. That's how the product looks on a funnel page. Now, once you have these products set up, you can basically go into the Lead Connector app, and right in the center on the Lead Connector app, you can basically do purchases. You can sell stuff, and there's a little thing called catalog at the top, and that will list all your products. So you just touch on that, add that to an order, and then review it, and then you can basically, to a customer, have them like tap to pay or that kind of thing if you're doing in-person event sales or something like that. So you can use the products from the Lead Connector app as well. So those are the main ways that you can sell the product through the funnel page. Now, what do we do to deliver this product? Okay, lots of things, right? If it was just a consulting gig, right? Maybe after the checkout, after they buy, they go to your thank you page, which has a calendar on it, right? So they could book an appointment with you. And so they've paid, now they book their appointment. That's your delivery of the product, right? If you're selling a digital product, then you may want to put the content for that digital product inside of a member area, okay? So what you can do in that case is you just come down here and go high level to memberships, and then across the top here you've got a second one called courses, and the second thing down in that list is products. So if we go to products in here, okay, this is where we'll actually have to reset up that product again, because we need to create that product concept inside of the course area so that this is going to be a whole thing that people log into and download stuff. So in that case, we just create a product. We'll start from scratch, okay, and we'll just build our own, okay, and this will be our example. That was the name we gave the product before, okay, and then this basically initiates a member area, okay, and so this is where you can load up inside of these categories and stuff. So like we can change the name of our category. We can say introduction or welcome or whatever. We can give this a thumbnail, okay, save that. Okay, I'm going to go back here because that's just the sort of main category title, and then underneath that we have what are like called the lesson areas, and so there's an example one here. So now this is where you can basically upload your training videos. If you're doing a video course, you can upload or attach files. So if you're giving away PDF documents or selling PDF courses or that kind of thing, you can attach that. Or you can basically just write the content in here. You can put links to YouTube videos in here in the description area and stuff like that. Add a thumbnail and all of those things, okay? That's where we deliver the product, okay? Now, we're not done yet, because even though we've created our product here, we still have to associate this product under courses to an offer, okay? So that's the next step. A lot of steps. I'm not going to claim to know why all of this stuff has to happen this way, but it does, and so we just accept that and move on. But once we get this set up, then we can basically use automations so that when people check out from our checkout page, we can automatically give them course access to the member area. So that's all the mechanics that are going to be happening in the background. Okay, and so we need an offer that is like the container we're going to put our product in. Okay, so you can see here, there's our example product right here at the top. We just created it. Okay, and this is a one-time cost, so we're going to put this in here at 47. Okay, now the reason we do this, I'm going to show you this in just a second, but imagine that you're selling multiple products, okay, and people go to your course area. There's a little place where they can go and explore like what other stuff you have for sale. And so what this does is this makes it so people can see your other courses even though they can't get access to it, and then they can click on it and then they can go and buy it. So they don't even have to go to your sales page for it or anything. They could, and this happens all the time, they can just explore the other stuff you've got, and maybe they like your stuff and they just start buying all your other courses. So that's the concept here. So let's create that offer. Okay, and we don't have to add a lot of detail in here. Okay, we can restrict the dates and stuff like that. So if you're doing a launch and kind of pre-selling this, for example, and the course doesn't open until this weekend or something like that, then you can tick this box and basically have it open on Saturday. I'm not going to do that in this case, but you can do that. All right, so here's our included product. There's the example. All right, and then we can add images and more of a description here if we want to. We can also have upsells and stuff like that. Okay, we'll keep it simple for now. We'll just say save. Okay, and then we'll go back over here. All right, so now that offer is in draft mode. So you do, once you're ready, you want to put that into published. Okay, and then you'll see it. Okay, and then now what happens is if I go and preview my sale page for one of my existing offers, then you'll see here's what people will see if they want to try to join something that they haven't already become a member of. This is the simplified sales page that you get with those offers. Okay, so that's what that looks like. And now if we go back over here to our course dashboard, okay, then that is, we're gonna be able to see, okay, who all has joined our course. And then finally, the last thing you have to do is just set up automations. Okay, so the way that looks is pretty simple. So like I just set up an automation here for a sale of my plugin. Okay, so the trigger is in my funnel. Okay, on this page, the checkout page, the product is this, because there's more than one product on that page, because there's the bump order as well, and the submission type is sale. Okay, so we can recreate that in just a second here, but that's my trigger. So when a sale occurs, then we'll skip over this, but I'm just removing them from a couple of other workflows. But what's happening down here is I grant them access to that offer. Okay, and so with the automations, the only thing that we can grant access to is an offer. So that's why we have to set those up in that course area. Okay, for example, I could change that to granting them access to the offer, to the example one that we just created. Okay, so I'll leave that as it was. And then of course, that will, once we set this simple automation up, it automatically sends people an email with the login credentials after they buy. Okay, and then they can get into the course area to check out all of the stuff that they just bought. So that is how the product stuff works. So there's a lot of steps to it. So just to recap, it's like you have to go into payments, right? Go to products, create your product. All right. If you're going to have multiple products like upsells and bump orders, you have to create a different product for each one. Okay. So that's how that works. And then from there, what you do is go back to your checkout page or pages if you've got upsells. And for each page of checkout, you associate your product. Okay. Should be green, should look good, everything should be active and live. All right. And when you go and look at your page, you should be able, at your checkout page, you should be able to see that there is a price there and you can actually check out now. Okay. Because if there's no product associated, then you won't be able to check out. Okay. So you check those things. All right. So that's number 2. Then number 3 is if you are delivering a digital good, for example, in a member area, then you just go down here to memberships, go to courses, set up your product inside of there. Okay, so this is going to be the where the product is delivered. All right, get that set up with the different lessons and different things that you're delivering. Right, get that set up. Then number 4, you're going to go in here to offers. Right, and you're going to create an offer. Okay, and we just do this so that the product's associated with it, and this is what enables us to later set up an automation, and whenever people check out here, they will automatically get access to this offer, which basically gives them access to the product. Okay, and all the login credentials. Okay, so that's number 5 is just we go to automations. Okay, so we'll go to trigger, add a new trigger, and we're looking for an order. Okay, so order form submission. All right, so we'll add that in funnel website. All right, I like to use the order form submission one because this is the one where you can get really specific about what was submitted. All right, so it's in this website for me, this example we've been using. All right, I'm going to go to a specific page. Page is example checkout. I'm going to keep filtering down here. product is, because I want to show you in case you have bump orders, it matters, right? You may want, you'll have two different automations. So like your bump order may trigger a different offer, okay? So, and the product is example, all right? We go all as deep as we can here, right? Now we know that. Now we can basically add an action here. Now we'll skip over all the tagging and the removing of people from different workflows and stuff like that I had in the other one, because I just want to show you very simply here the course grant and course revoke offer things. Okay, so if somebody just bought, we'll grant them access to the course, right? So we're going to grant them access to example offer and save. Okay. And then we just save and publish this workflow, right? Give it a name, access or whatever. Click save, and there you go. So now people buy, that triggers this automation to give them access to the offer in your member area, which gives them access to the course area. All right, it sends them login credentials and all that stuff. You can build a million different workflows from there and handle all sorts of different things, but that's the bare bones of getting your whole system set up inside of Go High Level. There you go. I hope that helps you out, and listen, give it a if it did, and I'd love to have you as a subscriber if you're not already. So please join me up, and we'll see you next time.